now, got my brush. I shook this up pretty well, about maybe 10 seconds, with the lid closed, obviously. I'm just gonna drop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's probably good for this. And then take my cap here, just put it on there. That way, you know, if you tip it over or whatever, it doesn't spill out. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to talk over this thing going, the air compressor. So I might have to do a voiceover here, but anyway, here we go. If you can hear me, I'm gonna just take this and do a little test. So right here should just be air, and it is, so that's good. Then I'm gonna squeeze it and pull it back a little bit. Here we go. Getting a little primer out, which is what we want. Then I'll take my sculpt, hold it far back, pretty far back, about 5 or 6 inches. Just slowly go around. Just like that. Okay. So, I don't know how well this shows up on camera, but you see how it's kind of wet there? Whenever you get, you know, add too much paint or whatever in your gun, or, you know, spray out too much paint, and it gets wet like that, you do not want to go back over it when it's still wet. In fact, what I'll do now is turn the compressor back on and just use air, and it'll dry up that paint. You do not want to, you know, if it's wet, if it looks wet, and you add more paint to it, it's just going to ruin it. So I'm going to turn the compressor back on and just spray air right on the wet part. Okay, let's see if I can get this camera to focus. It's pretty much dry all around. Doesn't take a whole lot with these head sculpts. But anyway, that's basically how you prime something. The next step would be, like, at least for Spawn, just taking a regular brush and doing his eye symbols or whatever, I don't know what you call it, his little details on the side there. And for most heads, like if it's a white or, you know, lighter colored person, you use a white primer, which I also have, and then kind of slowly build up skin tones on top of it, which skin tones are very hard to match. Like if you have a, you know, like a Punisher figure or something, and he's got a white, or, you know, white skin, and you're trying to match the paint perfectly, it's very difficult. I hate doing it. But, you know, Spawn, that's kind of part of the reason I like customizing him, is just because he's all one color pretty much. and I just prime it and then add the little details and pretty much done. Another thing is you definitely want to let the paint dry, and it doesn't take very long with an airbrush, as long as you don't, add too much paint or, spray too much paint. It shouldn't take but probably 5 or 10 minutes. In fact, it's probably already dry. I could go over this with a brush right now, but anyway, so one problem, I kind of mentioned it before, is when it gets clogged up, which it kind of sounded clogged up when I was painting that. But basically, you'll take these two parts off, and if you're doing this in your bathroom like me, you want to pull your stopper there on the sink just so you don't drop anything. But then take this part off too, right there. Take this off. Take the this thing off, and then pull this out. Which, another thing is, you don't want to dump paint down the sink, so probably get you some paper towels. Take the top off and dump the remaining paint or wipe it out, and then run some water through the gun, some hot water. But then you want to take, they give you with your, or they should give you with your airbrush, one of these, which is just a little tiny, I kind of messed mine up, you'll see. It's a little focus. It's a little bent there on the end, if you can see it, but you'll just take this and kind of dig out in there where it's clogged up, and take your rod out here. Pause. Take your rod out and clean all the paint off of it, and just, make sure everything's shiny looking. I'm trying to think of anything I missed. This is just kind of a basic tutorial. I think my next one is going to be painting actual colors and not just primer on, like with a brush or something. So, thanks for watching.